you may feel like you're moving it, but if the result is coming off good, you gotta stop and really think about what you're feeling. Am I feeling my hands moving, or am I feeling my shoulder turn? Division I baseball for a couple years. Things I'm fixing to teach you now, I wish I'd known when I was your age. I'm not going to tell you anything today that's going to hurt your swing. Every single thing I'm going to tell you today is going to help your swing. Okay? You're hitters. What's your job? To hit it. Okay? Hitters aren't really hitters if you don't hit. You're striking out more than you hit, you're not a hitter. If you're not really hitting the ball hard more times than you're not hitting it hard, you're not really a hitter. Okay, how many pitchers I got in here? All right, we'll talk to you guys in just a minute. First thing we got to understand as hitters is what the pitcher is trying to do to me. All right, so pitchers, raise your hand again. What's your name? Landon. What are you trying to do as a pitcher? Trying to get him out. Okay, talk to me about first pitch of the at bat. Where are you going most of the time? Where? Middle in. Okay. You got some run on your balls? Any pitchers going to the outside corner? Majority of you, right? All right, so hitters, guess what pitchers are trying to do to you? They're trying to go low and away 90% of the time, correct? Okay. And we as hitters, most of the time, are taught to hit a pitcher's what? Mistake. Yeah, taught to hit his mistake. Okay. Well, most of the time, that's where a pitcher's trying to go. Most of their mistakes are going to be right here over the middle of the plate. All right, how many of you would say you're a dead pull guy? You like to pull the ball more than you do anything else? Me? On the spot. Okay. If that's the way that you're going to go about your at-bats, if that's the approach that you want to have, your consistency at hitting the ball hard on the sweet spot is going to be very up and down. Okay? All right? Now, if I know a pitcher's going to the outside corner, that's what he's trying to do to me. Somebody just said, what pitch are we trying to hit? Fastball. Okay? Fastball moves in what kind of line? Straight line. Okay? Straight line. So if I know a fastball moves in a straight line, what's the fastest distance between 2 points? A straight line. Okay? Straight line. So I've got to understand how my bat is going to get to that ball that's moving in a straight line. All right, if I'm here at the plate, I'm getting set, okay, I'm in my stance, ball's coming to me. In order for me to get this barrel in the way of that ball, how many of you have heard knob to the ball? I want to take my knob to the ball. Okay, now what happens most of the time when we go knob to the ball, most people put a ball right here, and they take my knob to the ball on the tee, okay? Boom, right? Yes or no? Yeah. Okay, what happens when I go knob to that ball, when my barrel comes around, how long can I stay in that zone? Think about these two balls out here. Would I be hitting those on the barrel if I was early? I'd be rolling over and swinging and missing. Okay? This is not a straight line in comparison to what's happening to me in a game, correct? I've got to know about that line. I've got to understand where that line is and where I'm really trying to take the knob. I'm not trying to take the knob to this ball to the point of contact. I'm trying to take the knob to the pitch that's being thrown to me. Okay? So now, if I'm here and I take my knob towards the ball that's being thrown to me, then when my bat comes through the zone, look how much farther the sweet spot stays in the way of that ball. I'll show it to you like this. I'm a visual guy. So if you're the pitcher, and I'm going knob to the ball, boom, I'm missing that ball out front. If I go knob to the ball that's being thrown to me, well now, even if I'm late, base hit the other way, on the barrel. Okay, if I'm dead on time, base hit on the barrel. And if I'm out front, I hit it on the barrel. Okay, how many of you would be a better hitter if you started hitting pitches that you were late on and early on the sweet spot? Absolutely. Okay, so we've got to understand how our swing moves. We know how the pitcher's trying to attack it. All right, if you're ever sitting on another pitch besides a fastball, you better make sure you get it. But 90% of the time, what pitch should you always sit on? Fastball. How many of you see a fastball, at least one, in every bat that you've ever had? Yeah. Okay. So if I can hit that pitch, I should be able to be a pretty good hitter. All right, so first thing we're going to do, y'all don't have these bats, but this is the most important thing that you have to understand. We're going to work with this little one-hander that we got right here. Okay, I've got to understand how to keep my barrel in what I call the hitting zone. Okay, in the way that ball is moving to me. This is the only space that I mind, or that I need my barrel, right here. Somebody tell me what you think the most important hand in the swing is. Top. Okay. All right, most important hand is going to be my bottom hand. All right. I used to be on the same page, but I used to think the same thing until I learned what I'm fixing to show you. All right, which hand has more extension towards the pitcher, naturally? My bottom hand. Okay, it's also on the front side of my body, right? And coaches always want you to hit the ball where? Out front. Okay, so let's use common sense here. I'm not knocking anything that you've ever been taught or anything that you learned. Think with me. Open your mind and think with me. If I'm trying to make contact with pitches out front, so I drive, which hand needs to get me there? My bottom hand. Okay, makes complete sense. So the first thing we're going to understand, learn how to do, is how to drive my bottom hand past the ball that's on the tee so the barrel whips through this zone. Okay? Now this zone is a little bigger than what it's typically going to be, but it's there for you to understand which direction I'm trying to go. Okay? I'm not trying to cross this line. I'm trying to stay parallel to this line. You ever heard inside the ball, stay inside the ball? This is the epitome of what this is. Okay? I'm not staying inside the ball if I'm doing this. Okay? It's not inside the ball. That's pushing out across the plate. Okay? Staying inside the ball is learning how to drive in a straight line and letting the barrel naturally whip through the zone. Were you going fast with your elbow there? Fast with my elbow. I'm going to get better contact if I go fast, period. If I use my elbow, I'm going to get good contact. There we go. See if you can stay still without me. How much speed do you have? All right. Tell me what's happening with my body. Why do you think I'm standing dead still? What am I working on here? What was the first thing I said we got to learn? Which hand? Bottom hand. Okay? Bottom hand's first. In order for my bottom hand to learn how to move in that straight line, I got to cut everything else out. Okay? I got to learn how to keep my body still. I talk about a brick wall and a couch. How many of y'all would say when I'm hitting, that when I make contact, sometimes I feel like I got air in my stomach? Like my body's real loose, real floaty, moving back and forth. Yeah? No? Okay? You're like a couch. So if I threw a ball at a couch, let's use this net. If I threw a ball at this net, how much does it bounce back? It don't. If I threw a ball at that wood wall, I'd do a little more ricochet. If I threw a ball at a brick wall, thing starts shooting off my back. Okay? Think about the first two balls that I hit. Where'd they go? Ground balls up the middle, ground balls to shortstop. Didn't really have too much on it. All right? You noticed a big difference when that ball started shooting the other way. Well, guess what I did with my body? Got a little more stable. Stability is the first thing we got to understand along with our hand. I can't drive my hands towards the pitch if I have no stability in my body. A lot of you guys that get in this position here, start way up high and get there. What happens to you when you're out front? And you look like that a lot of times too in purple. Okay? I don't want you to be in that position. I've got to learn how to keep my body stable hit from right there. So when I'm doing these hands drills, I've got to be in that position with my body. I've got to be in a position that feels like I just loaded, stride, and now I'm ready to drive my hands. Okay, I'm gonna take a couple more. It's a hat. All right, I can hit with this hand by itself. This hand's tough to hit with by itself. All right, talking about our top hand, a lot of us have been taught that that is extension. That is power. Yeah. I used to do a drill, got a front toss or soft toss to me, and I catch it. Driving that hand through that ball, working on top hand extension. But then I thought, what kind of sense does that make? For my hand to be in that position. Right? And think about what was happening here. One hand full extension. Can I get that far with this hand on the back? So this little zone that I'm trying to stay in gets smaller or bigger when that happens? Smaller. My opportunity to make solid contact goes down. All right, so now that I've learned this, I've got to understand what my top hand does. Okay, this is just supporting weight. Now I got a heavier bat. I could do the same drill with one hand and a heavy bat as long as I move the right direction. Keep my body still. Okay, this hand just helps me be a little faster. Helps me support the weight to get it past the ball. Okay? What do you notice with my body? I ain't moving. Okay? If I look tight, loose, what? Huh? I look whippy, don't I? I like that word. Basically what we're doing here is learning how to create whip. Any of y'all love bat speed? This is all this is, man. Okay? If I'm trying to create bat speed, then my bat has to whip from a farther distance to the ball. Okay? So many times we're trying to get that barrel to it. We're trying to get here and then go, how much whip is in that? No whip. Okay? There ain't whip in this. It's my body turning. There's no whip in that. It's my hand pushing the bat out of the way. Okay? My body, my hands can produce bat speed from just literally thinking down past the ball. Down past the ball. When I do this with two hands, you don't see me getting out here, pulled out of my legs. Because I'm not trying to hit pitches way out here. I'm just trying to hit pitches right here. Okay? In my head right now, I'm thinking to myself, keep my body still, keep my weight down, keep my eyes down, and drive the knob of the bat down past the ball as fast as I can. Again, I know how hard this is, dude. I know. And I hate the fact that none of y'all probably gonna really get it today. But that means you gotta work. Okay? If it makes sense to you, if it looks too easy for me to stand here and do this, when I leave here, you better freaking work. How do you win ball games?
Run.
Put up runs. Okay? Put up runs. What's the best way to put up runs? Hit the freaking ball.